Welcome back to the Complete Timelines channel, where I break down the timelines of your favorite TV and film, no friends of Middle-earth. Today, we are undertaking a journey more perilous than the paths of the dead, more intense than a stare down with Sauron, and more thrilling than a Legolas Gimli kill count contest. That's right, we're diving into a complete scene by scene, character by character, battle by battle, ring tempting timeline breakdown of the Lord of the Rings film franchise. This is more than a recap. This is a deep dive into character arcs that made us weep, subplots that wove entire fan theories, battles that shook the foundations of cinema, and lore so dense it might as well have been written in Elvish. We're going beyond the extended editions here, folks. This is for the fans who know the difference between a Balrog and a Barrow White. Grab your lembers, shine your sword, and put on your emotional support cloak. Let's begin. Prologue: The Second Age and Sauron's Rise. Long before Frodo ever touched the ring, the foundations were laid in the Second Age. This age brings us the forging of the Rings of Power. Celebrimbor, a legendary elven smith, crafts these rings with Sauron disguised as Anatar, the Lord of Gifts. This subplot is huge in fan circles for its tragic irony. The elves, in their desire to preserve beauty, inadvertently doom themselves. Fan speculation often focuses on Celebrimbor's torment and death, and how it sets a dark tone for the entire saga. 3 rings for the elves. Crafted without Sauron's touch, they retain purity. 7 to the dwarves, who become obsessed with hoarding but remain uncorrupted. 9 to men, whose ambition makes them perfect targets. These men eventually become the Nazgul, the Ring Wraiths, Sauron's undead hit squad. This arc is a masterclass in slow burn villainy. Sauron doesn't just defeat his enemies, he converts them. The fall of the Nazgul is symbolic of unchecked ambition, themes deeply rooted in Tolkien's critique of power. Then comes the last alliance of elves and men. Gil-galad and Elendil, noble kings, face Sauron in one of the greatest battle set pieces never fully shown on screen, but beloved in lore. Sauron is defeated and Isildur cuts the ring from his hand, but he doesn't destroy it. Why? Pride. This marks the tragic beginning of the ring's legacy of corruption, and it also begins the long, slow rot of Gondor's leadership. The ring sleep and Gollum's fall. The ring is lost. For centuries it lies dormant. Then comes Smeagol. On his birthday, no less, he murders his friend Déagol for the ring. It's not just a crime of passion, it's the ring awakening its power. Over 500 years, Smeagol becomes Gollum, losing his identity and muttering in split personality. Fans online often cite this as the best depiction of addiction in fantasy. This duality introduces a recurring theme of internal struggle between light and shadow, self-control and obsession. Gollum's arc is heart-wrenching, from hobbit-like fisherman to wretched cave dweller, but the tragedy is that he never truly dies. Smeagol still tries to emerge, especially when Frodo shows him kindness. His duality sets up one of the most emotionally complex subplots in the entire franchise. The audience becomes torn between pity and revulsion, which is exactly what Tolkien wanted. The Fellowship of the Ring, TA 3018. Bilbo's 111th birthday kicks off the modern age of the story. His departure and the ring's inheritance mark the beginning of Frodo's arc. From innocent hobbit to reluctant savior, Frodo's evolution is slow and subtle. Each step away from the Shire also takes him further from his own peace of mind. Gandalf's research, cue the dramatic library montage, reveals that this isn't just a cool trinket, it's the ring. We meet Aragorn brooding in the corner of the prancing pony like a fantasy Batman. His character arc is rooted in legacy and doubt. He is Isildur's heir, but terrified of repeating his ancestors' failure. He goes from reluctant ranger to king through acts of compassion and bravery. His mentorship of Frodo and his leadership of the Fellowship are key fan-favorite arcs. Boromir's fall is one of the most tragic subplots. He begins noble, desperate to save Gondor, but the ring poisons his good intentions. His temptation and eventual death show that even the good can be corrupted and even the fallen can be redeemed. Fans love the moment where Aragorn comforts him in his last breath. It solidifies both of their arcs. Gandalf versus the Balrog is iconic, a confrontation of light and shadow. His fall and resurrection as Gandalf the White mirrors Christ-like rebirth, elevating him into the spiritual compass of the narrative. It's also one of the most visually unforgettable battles of the series. Samwise Gamgee, gardener turned hero, begins to emerge. He follows Frodo out of duty, but his loyalty will eventually define the fate of the world. From this point forward, every moment Sam is on screen adds to what many fans consider the most heroic arc in Middle-earth. The Two Towers, TA 3019, early spring. The party split sets up multiple arcs. Frodo and Sam traverse Mordor's outskirts with Gollum as their guide. Here, Frodo begins to show signs of ring fatigue. His compassion for Gollum mirrors Bilbo's and sets up the core theme of mercy. Sam, meanwhile, rises as the emotional anchor. Gollum's interactions show his internal war. Fans obsess over scenes like the Smeagol versus Gollum argument, a CGI monologue that could teach masterclasses in acting. Merry and Pippin grow from comic relief to crucial figures in the war effort. Their meeting with Treebeard reveals the Ents arc, ancient, slow-moving beings finally stirred to action. The Entmoot subplot reflects environmental stewardship and resistance to industrialism, core Tolkien themes. Rohan is introduced. King Theoden, under Saruman's spell, is revived by Gandalf. His return to form is a fan-favorite redemption arc. His grief, dignity, and courage form one of the most human arcs in the saga. Éowyn, Shield Maiden, and niece of the king is introduced, a warrior in a man's world craving glory and respect. Her quiet moments with Aragorn hint at her desire to be more than a caretaker. Helm's Deep. This battle is cinema legend. From Legolas and Gimli's friendly competition to Aragorn's final charge, it's pure adrenaline. Fans also note the tension building, the hopeless odds, and the moment the tide turns with Gandalf's arrival. This scene, almost 40 minutes long, is a masterclass in pacing and emotional payoff. Meanwhile, Saruman's descent continues. Once a peer of Gandalf, now a puppet of Sauron, his story shows how knowledge, when divorced from morality, can lead to ruin. The flooding of Isengard by the Ents is a satisfying reversal, nature striking back at mechanized tyranny. The Return of the King, TA 3019, late spring. The final film is a crescendo of emotion and plot lines. Gollum manipulates Frodo, driving a wedge between him and Sam. The betrayal at Cirith Ungol is especially painful, as it shows how trust, once broken, can nearly destroy the quest. Sam's return after Frodo sends him away is a pivotal moment. "I can't carry it for you, but I can carry you," remains one of the most beloved lines in fantasy. It's a declaration of selfless love and one of the most emotional scenes in the trilogy. Minas Tirith looms. Denethor, the steward of Gondor, unravels. His contempt for Faramir and obsession with death contrast deeply with Aragorn's rising kingship. Faramir's arc, striving for his father's approval while maintaining honor, is subtle and powerful. The scene where he rides out to defend Osgiliath is heartbreak incarnate. The Battle of Pelennor Fields is epic. Oliphaunt's Witch King versus Rohan. Éowyn's kill scene is internet royalty. I Am No Man breaks prophecy and bones in equal measure. Her arc culminates in that moment. She earns her warrior's honor and strikes a blow against despair. Aragorn's journey to the pass of the dead is crucial. By commanding the dead army, he proves he's worthy of the throne. This moment cements his character arc from hesitant heir to rightful king. His return at the harbor, leading the undead to crush the enemy, is visually and narratively spectacular. Gandalf becomes a military leader, holding the city together. His scene with Pippin in Minas Tirith about death being another path, utter soul fuel. Pippin's growth from mischievous hobbit to brave knight of Gondor, is often overlooked but deeply meaningful. The final march to Mordor is not just a distraction, it's symbolic. The free peoples of Middle-earth stand united. Aragorn's speech, "This day we fight," ranks as one of the greatest movie speeches. Frodo's final fall to the ring at Mount Doom is necessary. Only Gollum's obsession and his fall can destroy the ring. It is not strength, but mercy that saves the world. Epilogue, Grey Havens and Legacy. The scouring of the Shire is omitted in the films, but the message remains. Hobbits return home changed. Frodo's pain is too great. He chooses the Undying Lands, not as a reward, but as a release from unbearable scars. Sam returns to Rosie and starts a family. His arc, from simple gardener to savior of Middle-earth, is arguably the greatest in the series. His reward is peace, stability, and the continuation of hope. The Red Book he completes is the final testament to the power of storytelling. The trilogy ends with bittersweet hope. Evil is defeated, but the scars remain. That's the genius of Tolkien's world. It's not about invincible heroes, but people who keep going despite being broken. In the end, it's the smallest person who changes the course of the future. Thank you, Fellowship of YouTube, for joining me. This franchise isn't just about fantasy. It's about courage, sacrifice, and hope. It's about standing against the darkness, even when the light seems faint. If this breakdown sparked any feels, likes and subscriptions are appreciated more than a second breakfast. And hey, drop your favorite arc in the comments, whether you stand Gollum's tragedy, Éowyn's triumph, or Sam's loyalty. And hit that bell for more deep dives just like this, and let me know in the chat what you want me to break down next. See you on the next complete timeline. Until next time, may the light of Arendelle guide you.